Hi, I'm Pooja Singh, and in this video, I will describe hierarchical clustering, which is not from scratch and different type of it. Um, so this notebook demonstrate hierarchical clustering, and it is unsupervised machine learning technique used to group data points into a hierarchy of clusters. We begin by defining hierarchical clustering, which works by treating each data point as its own cluster and successfully merging cluster based on distance metric. The process continues until the desired number of cluster remains. The distance between clusters can be calculated using various linkage methods, such as single linkage, complete linkage, average linkage, and word linkage. In single linkage, the minimum distance between points in two clusters is considered. In complete linkage, the maximum distance between points in two clusters is considered. In average linkage, the average distance between all points in two clusters are considered. And in the word linkage, attempts to minimize the variance within each cluster is considered. So here we are using um, iris dataset, which contains 150 samples from 3 flower species, each represented by 4 features measurement of flower leaves. The visualization include the heat map showing the feature distribution and the dendrogram depicting the cluster merging process. So in chunk one, we are importing the library, the Seaborn library, and enabling the color coding. For plots, we are loading the iris dataset and removing the species column to exclude the label during the clustering. And we are printing the unique species in dataset to confirm the composition. And here we are visualizing hierarchical clustering of iris dataset. And the heat map displays reordered rows based on the clustering, while the dendrogram on the side visualize a hierarchical merging of the cluster. So this clustering is based on rows because the column underscore cluster an argument is set as false, and we are using the method word. In this chunk, we are plotting the hierarchical clustering based on rows, and the method is complete. And we can see the heat map and the dendrogram diagram at the side. The clustering is based on these features: the sepal length, sepal width, petal length, and petal width. In this heat map, we are clustering with the method average and by rows. In this, we are doing clustering by method single and by rows. Now in this notebook, I have also included the clustering with the help of column. So here the column underscore cluster argument is set true, and I have done with all the methods for the column clustering. So here the heat map shows the word clustering with column, and this heat map shows hierarchical clustering of iris data with complete method based on column. And this heat map shows the usage of average method, and this heat map shows the usage of single method for hierarchical clustering, and we can see the dendrogram here. So the whole purpose was to describe the hierarchical clustering on the basis of rows and on the basis of columns, and hierarchical clustering on the basis of both rows and column is also possible, where we will pass the argument for both columns and rows as true. So in clustering by rows, we are grouping the data samples based on their similarity. For example, in the iris dataset clustering, rows organizes the flower samples into groups based on their feature values. And in clustering by columns, the grouping is done by features based on their similarity. For the iris dataset clustering, column arranges the measurement example, sepal length and sepal width based on how closely related they are. if would have done the clustering with rows and columns. So and that would have provided holistic view of the data, where it simultaneously groups samples, that is rows, and features, that is columns. Thank you.